Watch the slot corner covering Godwin on this. They say no risk it, no biscuit. Well, unfortunately, my man, he's going hungry tonight. No biscuit. Hey, Bucs fans, this is Josh Queipo with Pewter Report. I thought I'd do a video here as we lead into our first preseason game of 2024. I know one of the things that Bucs fans are most excited about is to see the new offense under new offensive coordinator Liam Cohen. Last year, the Bucs had some success, mainly towards the second half of the season under former offensive coordinator Dave Canales. Canales had some pros and some cons to his style of running the offense. Running game, obviously, it's been well documented, struggled last year. A lot of it due to run tendencies, some of it due to structure, a lot of it just due to poor interior offensive line play. This year, you're hoping to see better from the run game, but this video is actually about the passing game. That was probably the strength of this offense last year, and a lot of it was due to Canales' ability to scheme players open with some really creative passing schemes, and then B, working to his quarterback's strengths and what Baker Mayfield did best. And in my opinion, after looking at a lot of the team's explosive plays from last year, plays that went for 20 or more yards, one of the things that Baker does best is hitting layered concepts, in and out breaking routes, such as digs and outs, that were underneath some type of go or clear route. And so I wanted to show three of those concepts and what I hope that Cohen structures his offense to try and get to some of these concepts as well, as I think it could be a very good base for a successful offense in 2024. So the three concepts that we're going to look at are flood, dagger, and Ohio. So we'll start with flood, and we're going to see it here on this play from Week 7 against Atlanta. Bucs are down 13-10. It's 3rd and 3. They have the ball on their own 39-yard line in the fourth quarter. So what we're going to see here, Bucs are initially lined up in trips right, and I've kind of diagrammed what's going to happen. So Atlanta looks to end up in a cover 3, and the Bucs are going to see that the defense is in a zone coverage by using some pre-snap motion. You'll see Mike Evans. He's going to motion before the snap over to the left side of the line to create a 2x2. And you'll see that the Falcons, there is some shift to their defense, but there isn't really a player that follows Evans. It's just this safety right here drops down into the box. And then I believe that's Jesse Bates who becomes the single high free safety. That triggers Baker Mayfield into knowing I've got single high, I've got probably a zone coverage. He's pretty much knows that this is going to be cover 3, and they're going to run this flood concept, which actually works really well against cover 3. So you can see Trey Palmer on the outside. He's going to run the clear route. He's running that go ball to try and pull as many defenders deep as possible. Chris Godwin's going to run the intermediate out route. And he's going to draw this slot defender right here. And then finally, the last portion of flood is getting somebody into the short area of the zone, of the field, all on the same side of the field here. And that's Evans coming with that short crosser. So let's see it live and in action. Now, Godwin on his out route, he's going to get really good leverage because he's going to flex his route or stem it right as Palmer clears him, and it creates a little bit of a traffic zone. We'll come back to that here. You can kind of see it. It creates a lot of traffic, and it makes it difficult for the slot corner defending him to maintain really tight coverage. And Baker, seeing that, is able to get a ball inside and kind of underneath. It's a safe throw to the sideline. And really the only thing the slot defender can do is try and make a dive for it. Yeah, no risk it, no biscuit. He got no biscuit on that one. Just kind of going through the progression of what Baker's supposed to read here. The first read would be to the go route to Palmer. He gets to the top of his drop. He sees there's really no vertical separation. So then he immediately moves down. So it's a high to low read. And then he's looking for that out route. He likes Godwin on the out, and so he goes to that. Evans probably would have been open for a short first down if he needed to come down into the shallow, but it wasn't needed. And then a really good job by Chris Godwin there to get some yak. All right, now we're going to get to the second concept from these in and out breaking routes underneath clear routes, and this one's going to be dagger. So whereas with flood, Godwin on the intermediate route was running an out breaking route, with with dagger, we're going to see him now run an in breaker. This one is from week 2 against the Bucs were against Chicago. They were down 7-3. It was 1st and 10. It actually was 2nd and 9. And let's get to it. So again, kind of diagramming everything out prior so you can see exactly what's about to happen. So the Bucs were originally in a 3-by-1. You're going to see Cade Otton motions into the backfield as if he's going to be an extra blocker. Mike Evans is going to run kind of a fade stop. And then Trey Palmer's now in the slot. He's again running that clear. The Bucs used Palmer in this role a lot last year because his one best tool is his deep speed. Defenses have to respect it. And from there, Godwin's able to work underneath. So the dagger part of this is right here. Again, Palmer running that deep clear, and then Godwin working back behind him on a 15-yard deep dig. Chicago responded, and again, Bucs using some pre-snap motion to see if they can trigger whether this is man or zone. Otton moves. You don't see any defenders kind of move with him. Good chance that this is going to be some type of zone. It's a zone match principle, as it looks like. The Bears ended up running a version of cover 4 quarters where all 4 of the kind of deep secondary defenders were protecting deep. So you can see this outside corner on Evans stays with him, just taking him deep. Trey Palmer, when he gets deep, this safety matches him. This safety right here and takes him deep. And then Godwin's corner stays with him since he went on a deep breaking route as well. Why did Evans get the double matchup? It's because there was no other receiver on this side. And so the rules of this type of cover 4 is he would just match that deep route there. Now, underneath that, the Bears just go with 4 rushers and 3 underneath zone defenders. And this is where the Bucs are able to exploit that coverage, because with Palmer taking this safety deep and this corner having to protect against Godwin going, on a fade or a go ball continuing to go deep on the outside, it opens up tons of space in this area for Godwin to work in between those 2 levels. And Baker's able to find him really well. So enough of me talking. Let's see it in action. All right. So Otton in motion. You see the safety goes deep. The corner we'll stop and bring it back. Again, corner has to protect deep in case Godwin continues that route. He can't let Godwin get on top of him, and that gives him tons of space underneath to work, underneath leverage, inside leverage for that ball. The progression here for Baker, we can kind of see him as he gets to the top of his drop. He's going to look for Evans first to see if he's got that one-on-one, if this were cover 3 and this safety were rotating back to this concept side, and he's got Evans one-on-one. That may have been something that he wanted to look for, so he looks for that first, sees that the safety's cheating over to Evans. That's not going to be a good look. Then the second part of the progression is going to be Palmer on the clear, again, working kind of high to low. He sees Palmer isn't a great option because the safety does a good job of getting leverage on that route. And so now he knows with this safety cleared, there's going to be all sorts of room for Godwin to work underneath. And there it is for another big gain. So the last concept that we'll look at best way to describe the concept is as an Ohio concept. The Bucs tend to stretch this and run it at deeper route depths than a typical Ohio, which tends to be a shorter high-low. But we'll kind of get into it. This one was week 16 against Jacksonville. Early on in the game, no score. So again, we'll kind of diagram this out. Bucs are in trips to the right on first down here. No pre-snap motion on this one. They're trying to isolate Mike Evans. You can kind of see the Jaguars go to a cover one on this. So one deep safety right here. And then everybody else is kind of manned up. And then you're going to see this safety who was initially deep. He comes trying to kind of rob into this middle part of the field, hoping that Mayfield's looking for an in-breaking route in the intermediate area coming right to left, maybe doesn't see him, and he can rob a pass. All right. So just kind of looking to the concept side, because this is where the kind of Ohio concept happens. You're going to see Kate Otten's out here all the way to the field, one to the field. He's just going to run kind of a delayed, shallow cross. Corner's manned up on him, or it may have been not a corner, but more like a linebacker or a safety. But anyway, it's one-on-one man coverage there. But the concept really happens from these two receivers. Again, Trey Palmer, you've seen this is kind of a staple for what the Bucs did last year, trying to weaponize his speed. A lot of times it opened up things for other receivers, and then every so often he would actually get open deep and became a big play threat for the Bucs. But he's going to once again run that clear route, and he's not only going to take his man with him, but the deep safety is responsible for keeping a lid on him, so he's attracting two defenders. While he's doing that, Godwin's running a deep, basically a 15-yard out, much like the very first clip that I showed you at that flood concept against that one-on-one coverage from the slot. It gives him that outside leverage on the break. Him and Mayfield were really good on these outbreaking routes because Mayfield's got a cannon to really hit those line drive throws with speed right on the sidelines, and that's what you're going to see here. So now with motion. And this one I may freeze as we go through it just to kind of point out some things. Mayfield gets to the top of his drop. All right, and you can see, again, this is a high to low read. So first thing he's looking for, do I have Palmer deep? Not really, not with this deep safety over the top. No separation there. Then he's looking for Godwin on that out. And Godwin does a really good job. I'm going to back it up just a hair here. At the stem, you can see there's a tiny little fake to the inside, which helps him open up just a little bit more. Baker's really well timed on this one, leads him away from the defender. Really great hole shot there. So three different concepts utilizing that clear out. Let's get some deep speed to threaten the top of the defense, and then underneath that we're going to work a receiver on an in-breaker like a dig or an outbreaker to get better leverage and allow Baker to throw with confidence. These are really solid, play constructs to make it the reads easy for Baker and allow him to really leverage into his arm. So for Pewter Report, this is Josh Queipo. Hope you enjoyed the video.